Joining us on the phone is Professor Salah Alhammadi, Professor of Economics and Strategic Consultant, to update us on the economic efforts of U.S. imposed tariffs on Kuwait. Good afternoon, Professor. In what ways have the U.S. tariffs on imported goods influenced the cost of goods and services in Kuwait, specifically industries reliant on imported products?
Well, good afternoon to you. The U.S. imposed a universal 10% tariff on imports, as President Trump calls it, the reciprocal tariff policy. Of course, with certain countries facing higher rates, for example, 46% reciprocal tariff was imposed for Vietnam. For Kuwait exports, especially oil, tariff has largely been exempted. However, the tariff have disrupted what we call the global supply chain, would be meaning that it's more expensive now to export to the U.S., leading this to an increased cost for imported goods, because here in Kuwait we import most of the stuff, so it will cost a problem. Just looking at what happened just by the announcement to the global stock market, especially after the retaliation of China against the tariff policy. So considering the situation in Kuwait, Kuwait is not, as I said, is not directly impacted. However, Kuwait imports most of its raw material and equipments. Local industry here in Kuwait, such as construction, manufacturing, and also even retailer, will likely incur a higher cost because now it's more expensive for what we bring the raw material from. And of course, the increase might be passed on later on to consumer, resulting in a higher price for many goods and services in Kuwait.
Professor, given Kuwait's position as a key player in the global oil market, how have the Trump-era tariffs impacted oil prices and Kuwait's energy exports?
Again, the U.S. tariff under the Trump administration didn't directly targeted oil and natural gas, but they created what we call the global trade tension and the economy uncertainty. Now it's uncertainty. How much are we going to produce? How much, all that stuff. This means caused investors to worry about lower demand for oil because it's more expensive to them to produce. So leading a lower price, meaning because of the lower on demand, it might lead lower to the price, the same thing. So for Kuwait, where oil export are a major source of income, this could lower the revenue if the prices goes down, and a clear reminder of how easily the global change can affect the economy. And that's why this is a good reason why the government is seriously considering alternative to the oil income, and it's been doing this in the past years to co-op with the new plan for Kuwait 2035.
Professor Salah Alhammadi, Professor of Economics and Strategic Consultant, thank you so much for your time.